Hi, Blake with BlvdHome. We've been getting a bunch of comments asking which is better, direct drive or belt drive. And so today we're going to talk about the belt drive and the direct drive washing machine. So in front of us, this is the back end of an Electrolux and this is the back end of an LG. Is there really a difference between these two? This basically, you have a motor down at the bottom, you have what's called an inverter board that drives that motor, that drives this belt, and this is what turns your drum inside. This here is no belt. Basically, you have a rotor and a stator. Basically, these are two parts of a motor. So metal piece inside of it has magnets in it. And so they magnetize these poles to pull these magnets one direction or the other direction to make this drum rotate. Where this, the main computer tells the inverter board, and it sends it to that motor down there, and that causes this motor to run the direction and the speed that it wants it to run. Everybody says, well, geez, this has a belt, the belts break. Well, yeah, belts break, but I can count on one hand in the last 15 years of the belts I've had to replace on a front load washing machine. The only reason they break is generally somebody's put something inside the tub that stopped the drum from turning, and the motor kept running and it caused the belt to burn through. Or the rear pulley here has been loose and then that belt right there starts eating into it. So for safety precaution purposes, we replace it with a new belt. They honestly don't break. So don't consider that as a selling point, because there are positives to having a belt. A belt is quieter operation than direct drive is, because the belt is rubber. It's an insulator. It absorbs some of the vibration and the frequency of that motor as it's turning, so you don't hear it quite so much in the room. There are things that will affect the belt though, like if you got oil on it, and yes, they do stretch over time, and they may not have the torque that a direct drive does, because again, we're dealing with a belt here. It will give up over time. But as far as it breaking and not lasting, that's really a myth for the most part. And if a belt breaks, belts are cheap. I mean, you can buy a belt for 30, 40 bucks for a belt. Well, on the other hand, direct drives, these have positives and negatives too. Being a direct drive is just like having a Tesla, basically just a motor engine. This has more torque to it. So this will be able to turn your clothes over easier overall. It's got less moving parts because again, we don't have the belt. But on the negative side of this, if something breaks in here, so something starts failing in this, so say your main board fails, these parts are very expensive to replace compared to a $40 or $50 belt. Replacing a belt on this, honestly, it's a tight belt, so we keep our grip on the pulley here, but to replace it, this has been stretched, but basically all I have to do is just rotate it like this, and the whole thing comes right off in your hand. I mean, how hard is that? Pretty easy. And to put it back on, it's the same way. You put it around the motor pulley right here, you bring it up, and basically you're gonna just drive this around, and it snaps right back into place. Get it over on the right teeth on your motor. That's how easy it is replacing that. So it's not a difficult replacement. It's super easy. As far as the direct drive, when you take this off, it's just basically pulling this off here. And I won't lie to you, I did loosen it a little bit so I wasn't struggling on camera. But the bolt comes out. And this comes off. And this is where we're talking about the magnets. These are all our magnets that are around here. This is our stator. These are all our different poles that it will pult to make this go the direction it needs to go. And this shaft right here, this is what's attached to your drum that makes it turn. So pretty easy, but like I said, if this part fails, it's expensive. If this part fails, I've never had one of these fail. I guess I've had some magnets crack in some of these before, and because it is magnets, you know, you set it down on the ground and picks up different things, put it back on and realize that it's on there. Is this making a scraping noise? I would never do something like that. I'm a trained appliance technician, but it does happen. Something to be mindful of. These again, they're easy to fix. They're both really simple to fix. If I have to replace this, there's just 3 more bolts that come off. This comes right off. It's super easy to fix, but this is where it comes down to cost. It's not the labor cost that will get you, it's the cost of the parts. Don't let the belt be the reason you don't buy a machine with a belt. I think they're pretty equal on the playing field. As far as you being confident of buying one or the other, buy the machine you like, buy a good machine. Again, I have an LG washing machine at this point, and it's a great washing machine. I would look for the features and the functionality that you like and what you want for the machine, more than worrying about, well, this one has direct drive or this one has a belt drive, because honestly, there is no significant difference you're going to notice. Keep that in mind, and I hope this video has been informative for you. If you have any questions or any comments about these machines or about the direct drive or the belt drive, please put them below in the comment section. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon.